Arsenal 2, Olympiacos 0. I had called in for a 4-0 win for the club of Arsenal, but if you watch the game, you knew that it was just a matter of how many, because Arsenal went ahead to create chances. Olympiacos also really put in a very huge shift, but Arsenal, with its watertight defense, they were like, no goal is obviously going to be crossing our line, and 2 goals will obviously cross your line. Smash like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, as it stands, Arsenal has gone ahead to win their second game in this new format of the Champions League, and it was courtesy of Gabriel Martinelli in the 12th minute. You know how it happened. Martin Odegaard released Victor Gyökeres, and Gyökeres went ahead to hit that ball past the goalkeeper, and there was a slight deflection from the goalkeeper, and Gabriel Martinelli went ahead to follow up on that ball, and he was willing to let that ball cross the line when he has not gone ahead to score it, but when it really diverged from the goal area, he went ahead and obviously put it into the back of the net to make it 1-0. But there are 2 factors that I can talk about this goal of Arsenal for Gabriel Martinelli. One, it's his third in the season, and it's his third in the season, and it's one of those that is really an opener. It takes you back to the game they played away in Spain, where he came off the bench and really gave Arsenal the first goal. And I've always told you, the most important goal is always the first goal. For everyone who thinks that it's not that important, you look for it, and when you fail to get it, you'll understand that the first goal is really very important. It's very important when the game is level, and it's very important when you've gone ahead to obviously be trailing behind. It's very important when you are leading by 1-0 and you score it, you give yourself a 2-goal advantage ahead of your opponent. It's even very important when you need to obviously go ahead and maybe stretch your lead by 3 goals or 2-0. So that's the importance of the first goal, and he scored it, meaning that he's mastering the goal of scoring the Champions League. And by the Champions League, he might be one of those that will score very many goals, as such indicators come at an early stage of the Champions League commencing part. Because the more it continues like this, and he continues to score goals, I tell you, he will turn out to be one of those players that is really untouchable in the Champions League for the club of Arsenal. And when you shine in the Champions League, most of the teams will be willing to obviously have you. And today the manager went ahead to obviously give him the starting slot, and he utilized it very, very well. Secondly, Martin Odegaard finding out that lightning-breaking pass for a player known as Victor Gyökeres. And, I laugh a lot at people who always say it should be Ebelechi Eze playing as a number 10. And for me, 100% disagree with that. I believe that you cannot sacrifice Martin Odegaard for Ebelechi Eze. Those are 2 quality players that need to be on the pitch at the same time. Unless otherwise, football is not meant for you. But if football is meant for you, you cannot really sacrifice these 2 players. You can't. You can't come out and sacrifice one Odegaard for Eze, or Eze for Odegaard. In the first 11 of Arsenal, Odegaard should be in and Ebelechi Eze should be in. You remember when these 2 really came up, and Odegaard was brought on when Arsenal was playing Newcastle. You saw how the game changed, because you had a very technically gifted player in the middle of the park, leading the creative business, and another player who was playing off the left attacking side of the midfield, known as Ebelechi Eze, who was really deadly. With Martin Odegaard getting hold of that ball, attracting attention because he's a prosperous assistant player, reducing numbers that would have gone ahead to stop a player called Ebelechi Eze from doing all he needed to do. And you saw what happened. When Odegaard stepped on the pitch, Arsenal had to go on and really score 2 goals. You remember, and they came from behind. So, in the game of the weekend, I would love to see Odegaard and Ebelechi Eze start in the same team. I think this is when you'll see a player known as Victor Gyökeres unlocked more and more, like today, how a player known as Martin Odegaard went ahead to unlock him for the first goal, hit that ball, the goalkeeper had a little bit of touch of it, and Martinelli followed up on it, and it went in the back of the net. So today, at least I saw Gyökeres being fed in by Martin Odegaard, and all they need to do is Odegaard to keep on the pitch and play more and more games. That is it. Nothing else Odegaard has to do apart from that. So that is the first goal. And it took Arsenal very many minutes. From the 12th minute, it took Arsenal, that is 78. It took Arsenal 80 minutes to score the second one, and it was a Bukayo Saka coming off the bench. And again, guess who released Bukayo Saka to go ahead and obviously put that ball in the back of the net? It was none other than Martin Odegaard. Now, he was responsible for those two line-breaking passes for those both goals. But the funny bit of it all is that Arteta played, or the surprising bit of it all is that Arteta played Bukayo Saka off the left side. And if you know Bukayo Saka and you've been watching him ever since he made his debut for Arsenal, we all remember that he first played as a left winger, or a left forward. And seeing him there is just taking him back to the days, as I think the manager has been training this throughout the training, as Bukayo Saka is now predictable as a right forward. And he's trying to see to it that he can play Trossard on the right, even on the left, Martinelli on the left, even on the right, Noni Madueke on the left and on the right, because for Belechi Eze can literally play in every position, such that these players can start to switch wings. I can tell you that Arsenal team that used to switch wings, if you remember that Arsenal that had Samir Nasri, that Arsenal, it had Samir Nasri, it had Heleb, it had Rosiski in there. So you could see to it that if at all Nasri started as a left forward, Heleb as a right forward, then you could see these players switch. Heleb going to the left and the other one going to the right, meaning that Arteta wants to see these players start switch wings. That's what he really wants. He wants to see these players switch wings. Saka, if they try to get to know your game for the first 10-15 minutes, go on the left and maybe Eze comes to the right, or else Martinelli or Trossard. And for that, you'll obviously understand that interchanging those wings will be one of those weapons that Arsenal will be typically using in the due course of this season, and it will help them a lot, as they will be unpredictable and they will be untouchable. So for that goal, Bukayo Saka obviously went ahead to make a run inside the 18 box area, and Martin Odegaard went ahead to read his run like a book and went ahead to release him, and he went ahead to obviously put that ball in the back of the net. That was really very impressive from Martin Odegaard, and that is the Odegaard that we've always gone to know. On the weekend, he had an assist, and even in the equalizer, he's the man that they started that free kick and really returned that ball to Declan Rice. Declan Rice went ahead to obviously put that pinpoint cross onto the head of Merino, and Merino headed it home to make it 1-1 for Arsenal and Newcastle. Then Odegaard delivered that set piece, and Gabriel Magalhaes headed it in the back of the net. That is the club of Arsenal for you. So, as it stands right now, it's not obviously gonna be easy to get Martin Odegaard out of that team. And I've always told you, after Kevin De Bruyne left, I think the best two number 10s in the Premier League are Martin Odegaard and Cole Palmer. I don't want anyone to come out and bring me Bruno Fernandes, because for me, however much I support Man United, Bruno Fernandes is not a modern number 10 to me. He's not. And these players are really they really do a lot more than what he does when it comes to really controlling the game and really giving a team a new direction and a little bit of creativity, you know. So I tell you what, Martin Odegaard, I think he's 25 years of age, right? He came in through at Arsenal when he's just 21. So he's 25 years of age. And when you look 25 years, he is really trying to really reach his potential. And I don't think that his full potential has been unlocked, because coming in through of Zubimendi and Ebelechi Eze and Victor Gyökeres is going to see his full potential unlocked more and more and more and more, as they'll obviously let him go to where he wants to be in there. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. That's how Arsenal went ahead to do the needful. But positives, another clean sheet kept. I think it's one of those teams that has gone ahead to keep clean sheets throughout. You understand? So that is Arsenal for you. And Martinelli continuing to score. You know, Martin Odegaard, almost a brace of assists, all getting involved in 2 goals, 1 assist in there for him. I really loved his display today. So he's like sending a message outside everyone that I'm really that Martin Odegaard. I've gone ahead to see people coming in through, despise his game, but the lad is not really giving up, and he's like, 1 game, 1 assist, I'm ready to go and see that I give it all in for the club of Arsenal. Last season in the Champions League, he scored 3 goals and really had 1 assist. Now, 1 game, 1 assist. It shows you how improved the lad is as a player in there. Premier League, 30 games, 8 assists and 3 goals. I think he needs to obviously elevate more and really give his team more and more and more and more of him. Now let's get into the stats of the game here onto the Rokani Media Football. 16 shots by Arsenal, Olympiacos had 10, 5 shots on target by Arsenal, Olympiacos had 3, 61% ball possession by Arsenal, Olympiacos had 39%, 495 passes completed by Arsenal, then 308 passes completed by Olympiacos, 82% passing accuracy by Arsenal, 72% passing accuracy by the club known as Olympiacos. 14 fouls by Arsenal, 17 fouls by Olympiacos, 3 yellow cards to Arsenal and 1 yellow card to the side of Olympiacos. 0 red cards issued to either sides, 2 offsides to Arsenal, 4 offsides to Olympiacos. 3 corners to Arsenal and 5 corners to the side of Olympiacos. So that's it, exactly what we need to obviously get from this game of football. And Arsenal have gone ahead to obviously win this game, and they have won 2-2. And let's wait. So let's get to the table and see how it's really looking right about now. The table is looking like this. Bayern Munich, 2 games, 6 points, a goal difference of 6 goals. Real Madrid, 2 games, 6 points with a goal difference of 6 goals. PSG, 2 games, 2 games, 6 points and a goal difference of 5. Inter Milan, 2 goals, right? And 6 2 goals and 2 games and 6 points. Arsenal, 2 games, 6 points, goal difference of 4. And as I told you, Arsenal and Inter Milan are the only 2 sides that haven't gone ahead to concede a goal. Arsenal is 5th. Quebec, surprising team that is really beating very many teams in here. It's 6th with 6 points. Borussia Dortmund, 7th with 4 points. Man City, 8th with 4 points, meaning that they've gone ahead to draw. Tottenham Hotspur, 9th, 2 points, 2 games and 4 points. Atletico Madrid, 2 games and 3 points, meaning that today they've gone ahead to lose. And that takes us to what other results have been. I think when I return, I'll break down the game of Barcelona a little bit and really let you know how the results have gone ahead to go. Now, Newcastle has beaten Union St. Galicia by 4-0. You know, Man City 2-2. Erling Haaland scored a brace, but they didn't leave Monaco with a win. You understand? Bayern Leverkusen and PSV 1-1, Arsenal 2, we've got Villarreal 2, Juventus 2, Napoli 2, Sporting Lisbon 1, and for this particular fixture, Rasmus Højlund has gone ahead to score a brace. And I came up and I told people that Rasmus Højlund is not the problem. The problem is that he's not being fed in. Now, today I saw Kevin De Bruyne release him for the first goal he scored, and guess what? He really went ahead to score it, meaning that one chance, one goal, and Rasmus Højlund has gone ahead to score a brace. Now, for everyone who thought that United needed a striker, Rasmus Højlund is outside there scoring goals. You know, I think he has now 3 goals in 3 encounters. You know, if it's the Champions League, those are 3 goals. Those are 2 goals in 2 encounters. And I think he would have gone ahead to obviously paralyze a team known as Man City, but they really went ahead to get a red card. So that's what I had for you here onto the Rokani Media Football. Arsenal 2, Olympiacos 0. I'm calling in for your reactions into the comment section below. We out.